What's up YouTube, Kevin Wolfwood123. Today's video is a new pickup called the High Def n.e.s. Now this is a special board that's modded into the console, excuse me, that allows HDMI output. So instead of going through the composite wire or like RF signal with blurry crap all over the screen, you can plug it in with a HDMI cable and have 1080p with scan lines and things like that. I think the kit's made by a man called, well, his name online is Kevtris, and him and GameTech US have teamed up to make it. So yeah, so let's have a little look. So here's the console anyway. Looks like a normal n.e.s. I've added the blinking light win mod, which is in another one of my videos. So it just, you know, it's better for loading games. It's, you know, it's a lot quicker and easier. And on the back, you can see there's a cutout for HDMI on the bottom. So now I bought a capture card just for this. The only problem is the capture card I bought, I didn't realise wasn't 60 frames per second. So the n.e.s outputs 50 frames per second, but the videos will be at 30 frames per second. So it shouldn't be such a big difference, but you know, if you notice anything's running a bit slower, that's not the n.e.s, that's actually the capture card. I might actually film a bit on my phone just to show you. So I'm going to go over now and show you the menus and what it can do. Okay, so to get into the menu, as it starts off with, you press select and left, and that brings the menu up like that. You've got a few options here. So resolution, your first one. You got 720p. This is 576 on a pound n.e.s, but I think it's 480p on a NTSC, and you've got 1080p. Now I've left it on 1080p. Go back. Video options. You can stretch the picture. Yeah, so 4.3, 16.9, and I'm going to leave it as it is. But you can, yeah, you won't see it very much on that. Scaling. You got filters. So let's actually go into the game. And back. Start the game. Okay, so as you can see, yeah, the game, it looks amazing in 1080p. It looks really, really good. Press select and left. Video options. Scaling. Now you can add different scaling methods: 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, scale 2x, scale 3x, and X-ray. X-ray is just black and white, but in reverse. So if I click that and put it on, there you go. Quite scary, but I don't know why you'd want to play like that. But yeah, so you got 2 times. Let's just stick 4 times on so you can see the full effect. As you can see, it's all smooth. It's smoothed off on the edges. Looks really, really good. But you know, I do like the pixeled look. And then we've got scale 3 times. There you go. But personally, I'm a fan of nothing. Well, not nothing. Of clear pixels. I do like the pixels. Okay, that was the scaling, and now we're going to scan lines. You got the options of off, n.e.s, 2 times, 3, 4, and 5 times. I haven't chosen. If you go through, you can just see at the bottom there. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. n.e.s, I think it's closest to n.e.s looking like that. That's really smart. It looks really good. I'm a fan of scan lines. I do like scan lines, but I do like the pixel look as well. So I don't know which one to go for, but you know, that's your option and your choice when you actually have the device. So yeah, that's the scan lines. Let's turn them off. Okay, next up is interpolation, and put that on and go out. And as you can see, it's add a blur to the actual picture. It blurs the image kind of like a CRT TV would do. I'm not, as I said before, I do like scan lines and I like the pure pixel look. I don't know if the blur would be that great for me, but for other people, you know, it's there. So you can put the blur on and put the scan lines on, put them together, and get a picture that you desire. But yeah, you can turn it up and turn it down with the depth, so how blurry you want it. But that's one feature. Next feature is the palette, and you've got a few palettes here. You've got a standard one, Bewares, which you can see underneath, and we come out of it. It's a lot brighter there. Play Choice 10, I think, is really bright. Yeah, there you go. Really bright, vibrant colours, like the Play Choice 10 machines. And then black and white, if you fancy a retro look, which is quite cool, but another feature I probably wouldn't use. But it's really cool to have it there, so I'm going to stick with the standard one. And next up is cropping. Basically, on some games you get the garbled image at the sides of the picture. Let me go back out. If you notice as I'm moving up and down, you should see at the bottom of the screen there's a load of garbled picture at the bottom. You can crop that out so you can remove it. And at the top there's a slight like grey image that comes in and out. And depending on where you are in the game, you get different effects. This game is really bad for it. This is Gargoyle's Quest 2. And for most of the game you'll see random numbers and things appearing, and that's before you've got the HDMI mod. So yeah, it's something you can crop out. So you got the crop in, and you got bottom edge. As you can see, it comes up like that and come out of it. Then as you move, it's no longer messed up at the bottom because you've cropped it out. And there you go, back to standard. And the next option is horizontal position. It's exactly what it says on the tin. You can move it across and move it the other, you know, move it left, move it right, exactly how you want to position it. Nothing really worth explaining there. And the last option here is the speckle. Does what it says on the tin as well. It removes the speckle off the image. Depending on what game you're playing, some games have got like a speckle over the picture. You can just choose the different phases and remove the different speckles that are on the screen. Pretty simple. Okay, now we're going to go into audio options and enables, and you've got different chips there. And what that is if you're using something like a pirate cart or like a flash cart, you're playing games like Lagrange Point, which I've seen a video on, and that needs the VRC7 chip to play the sound, which is built into the game. But if you don't have the game, this is what I'm thinking, I'm not 100% sure if it's right. If you don't have the game, it won't play the chip. So you click the chip on, and then when you play the game it will sound perfect, whereas if you don't have it on, the audio is going to be lackluster and not sound as good. You got quite a few chips to turn on there. I think if you've got the original game and put it in, it will use the chip that's on the game, so it won't matter. But if you're using you know, flash carts or repros that don't have the chip, you can enable them and make it sound really good. Then you've got volumes, obvious, you know, turn your volume up and down on each one. Panning, you know, left to right. Viewer, so you can watch the actual chips playing like that as the music plays, which is cool. I think that's it for audio. Then you've got the settings. So go into settings, you've got the menu hotkey, which is left and select by default. I'm just going to leave it like that because I know what it is. Overclock hotkey, underclock, short reset, long reset, controller, DVI mode, which is if your monitor doesn't support HDMI or something like that, EDID, and audio clock. I think the audio clock is so you can overclock the processor to run the game faster, but it makes the audio like high pitched and faster. Then you can change the clock speed on the audio to bring it down. I may be making this stuff up, so don't take it as gospel. Okay, so let's see some gameplay. I think I'm going to put scan lines on just for fun. So yeah, this is 1080p. 1080p with scan lines. I've not cropped out any of the errors that are on the top and the bottom of the screen, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. I haven't played this game for a while. Not too sure exactly what I'm supposed to be doing because I can't remember. Gargoyle's Quest 2. Oh, you got to get that pot up there, I think. That's it. Okay, so let's play a bit of Battletoads. I've just put that in, and this is in 1080p with scan lines on. Just excuse the clicking, because I'm right next to the mic with the control pad. I'm not very good at this. the picture quality, I can't. It's perfect. I can't get over it. It looks just as good. Well, it's as good as an emulator. It's no different. So it's the picture I really wanted. Since I got the n.e.s back, it was you know, when you're using standard cables and RF, it just puts you off the picture. It's so horrible. Whereas in 1080p with scan lines, it's perfect. It's like an emulator experience with original hardware. Okay, now we're going to play a bit of DuckTales 2, just a tiny bit, just to show you how it looks. And this time, I think I'm going to turn the scan lines off. We'll turn them off. There you go. DuckTales 2, quite a collectible game now. Going up and up in value. It was quite hard for me to find. Did have one guy offering it to sell, offering me it to sell, but when I asked him about it, he was messing about, so ended up having to buy it off eBay. I paid, you know, the premium for it. Do you want to go there, Uncle Scrooge? Yes. As you can see, crystal clear, 1080p. The thing I like about DuckTales 2 is you can jump, then press B, and it instantly pogos. Whereas on the old one, you have to press down and B. As I said before, the capture card for this is only 30 frames per second. So it's going to look a bit slower than normal, which is unfortunate, but the game is running full speed. The UK runs at oh, secret. UK one runs at 50 frames a second, and the American games run at 60. Can you get through here anywhere? Can you do the old jump? I don't know. Anyway, let's get out of there. Looks amazing. I'm really impressed with this. Such a great kit. I think it might be here. There you go. I knew there's a secret somewhere. Piece of the map. There you go, if you don't know where that was. And then it all caves in. But yeah, I'm really impressed. I'm really happy with this. Okay, so that's it. Sorry the video wasn't that interesting and I did waffle on a bit. But it showed you a little bit of what the kit can do and what it's capable of. The picture will be a lot better in person using the capture card, especially the capture card I've got. It's not very good. It's very cheap. And it only films in 30 frames per second, so it doesn't show the full speed of the actual game's running. But yeah, if you want something that's as good as a Frame Meister with RGB and a proper, I think they're called BVM monitor, I may have got that wrong. If you want something as good as that, you know, for cheaper and on a HD TV, the lag as well, you know, people talk about the lag in games. When you play emulators and stuff like that, there's definitely input lag. I know with the Shield TV and you're playing SNES, try and play Super Mario World, it's so hard to land on platforms because it's just so out of sync. You know, you jump and you go off the edge. It's just awful. I know a lot of people complain about that, but this has got no lag. I mean, I think someone did a test on it and it was like 0.07 of lag. It was like spot on. It's just as good. It's really good. It's just as good as playing on a real monitor on a something like a CRT. So can I fault it? I can't fault anything on it. It's flawless. It's such a good piece of kit, and I recommend it 100%. The graphics just look so much better now, and I can play it on my 60-inch TV. I haven't got to go onto a tiny little CRT TV, you know, and have, you know, other people are saying, you know, buy a CRT TV. I keep saying that now, but yeah, I've got 2 screens already in the lounge. I don't really want another massive 30. You know, a 32-inch is going to be like, you know, that, and then that on the back. I don't want that sitting somewhere, and I don't want to buy a monitor that's like 50 kilos. Just to look at a picture that's this, you know, a small, well, I aim it at the screen, you know, something small like that. I don't want a 14 to 19-inch screen. I want to play it on the big screen, sitting back in full HD with scan lines, and it looks the nuts. So I'm gonna have a play with it. I'm gonna have another play, see if I can get the scan lines looking even better and crisper. But hope the video wasn't too boring. and it let you see some of the stuff that it can do. So thanks to the guys at Game Tech US, and I think the guy's name is Kevtris, the guy who's basically made the kit. So thank you very much, and I appreciate it 100%. Really good. Spot on. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one.